Quran study. God willing, today we'll be reading from Surah 45, verse 15. Let's all seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 45, verse 15. Whoever works righteousness does so for his own good, and whoever works evil does so to his own detriment. To your Lord you will be returned. We have given the children of Israel the scripture, wisdom, and prophethood, and provided them with good provisions. We bestowed upon them more blessings than any other people. We have given them herein clear commandments. Ironically, they did not dispute the truth until the knowledge had come to them. This is due to jealousy on their part. Surely your Lord will judge them on the day of resurrection regarding everything they have disputed. So God is, telling us here that, whoever is doing righteous works, they're doing it for their own good. If anybody's doing something evil, they're doing it to themselves, even if they're doing it to other people, or seemingly they're doing it to, seems like, hurting someone or scheming against the believers or anything like that. They're only hurting themselves. And this is true for every person. And God has given us the example of the children of Israel and reminding them of the blessings that God has given them. He has given them the scripture, the wisdom, prophethood, among the descendants, and then provided them with good provisions. You see, they're still enjoying, so many of those provisions and being unappreciative of them. But God has bestowed them many blessings, more blessings than any other people. And God says here, and He has given them clear commandments. But God says they did not dispute until the knowledge had come to them. This is due to jealousy on their part. So they, instead of being appreciative of the blessings that God has given them, they decided to be unappreciative and decided to rebel, and due to jealousy, because they felt that they're better than anybody else, and they felt that they're the chosen ones, and they felt that, if God is giving some blessings to anyone other than them, then, they're not going to guidance to anyone other than them, then, they're not going to accept it. And that shows, the jealousy and the ego that's very prevalent among them. And God says on the day of judgment, He will judge them regarding everything they had disputed. So even though they think that, they're the chosen ones and all that, on the day of judgment, these people will have to pay for their sins. I was recently, not too long ago, talking to this rabbi who, not a rabbi, but like some Jewish, fanatic person who was a submitter before, and then he decided to become a Jewish, scholar, self-taught scholar, and made it his business to try to convert the people to Judaism, including the submitters, and so he was saying that God has promised them in the hereafter that He will make them partners with God. He will make them partners, like He'll make them gods with God. And this was a person who supposedly used to be a submitter. So you can imagine like how terrible, the brainwashing is, and how these people are, full of nonsense when it comes to the religion. Even though God has given them all these blessings, He has given them the knowledge, He's given them the scripture, and they decide to uphold conjecture and guesswork, just a human trait. Verse 18, we then appointed you to establish the correct laws. You shall follow this, and do not follow the wishes of those who do not know. They cannot help you at all against God. It is the transgressors who ally themselves with one another, while God is the Lord of the righteous. This provides enlightenment for the people and guidance and mercy for those who are certain. And so then God says He appointed you to establish the correct laws. I mean, when he says you, he's talking about people other than the children of Israel. Most probably referring to, Muhammad, or most likely Muhammad in this respect, and to establish the correct laws, obviously, because after the people had deviated from the truth, now it's time to reestablish the truth and bring people back to submission. God gave the rights of submission to Abraham, and those rights were given to us through Abraham. And so people who were following Jesus and Moses, were supposed to adhere to those principles, but instead they decided to uphold conjecture and guesswork. And only thing that they were left with from Abraham that they thought was part of the religion was they attributed falsely to Abraham a satanic innovation, which was circumcision, but got rid of all the actual practices that were actually given to Abraham. And then thus, God sent this messenger, God sent the truth to guide the people, and replace those people with the truth, and the nonsense that they were preaching. Then we then appointed you to establish the correct laws. You shall follow this, and do not follow the wishes of those who do not know. They cannot help you at all against God. It is the transgressors who ally themselves with one another. So the people who, if you see some people allying with the transgressors, and you understand one of them is a transgressor, then it's pretty likely that their allies are also transgressors, because God says that the transgressors are allies of one another. So the believer never ally with any transgressors, right? So like the example I gave of people who are fanatic Jews trying to convert the submitters will never ally with those people and try to make friends with them, so that